What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I'm super excited to have my first ever Q&A with me, Iamdanram. Usually my vlogs involve me traveling around the world and speaking on stages, but this one's different because you are literally in my kitchen. And we're going to be having a conversation. One of the great joys of being on social media over the last year is that people have used it as a chance for me to ask questions and learn from you guys, and for you to ask questions and learn. And all we're doing is taking that and putting it into a vlog. The theme this time is personal branding. 2 days ago, I asked for questions and I got some great questions. I picked 5. We're going to go through it as fast as I can. So here we go. First question is coming from the US. Let's listen in.
Hey Iamdanram, it's Lauren from the United States, and my question for you is, when trying to market and brand yourself, is it better to be creative or consistent with your message?
So that's a really good question. Creativity or consistency? What is more valuable? To me, this is a hare versus tortoise story. Everyone knows that the hare is faster, but the tortoise wins because it's more consistent. So I think it's easy to want to put all your best shots together to make the most viral video, but are people really going to join you on the journey? Probably not. So I would always go with consistency, because in the long run, that's how people will get to know who you truly are if you put out content literally every day. Next question comes in from Romania.
Hey Dan, so I'm an entrepreneur and I have my personal accounts and my business accounts. What do I do? Do I post on everything related to business, or just personal is personal, business is business? What do I do?
That's a really good question. As someone that suffered with having multiple accounts for my very schizophrenic personality, I would say go with one account. The concept of personal branding is that it's an authentic view of all of you. So my social media accounts share my music interests, my work interests, my traveling interests, my friends, all of them are part of it. And so I would say commit to one and let it shine all of you. Our next question comes in from a young guy in Jordan.
Hello, what's going on everybody? My name is Munir from Jordan, and I want to ask Daniel this. Daniel, what is the best advice you would give to someone who is trying to become a public international speaker?
Ooh, good question. All right, so we're mixing two worlds here, personal branding and speaking. So the way that I would say that they're similar is that they're both about conversations. So if you do your personal branding well, you're telling your story well. And if you do speaking well, you're sharing that story well. So for me, if you commit to building your personal brand, it is easier for people to know why they should hire you. When I started committing to sharing what I was learning the hard way and through many celebrations and victories in business and stuff, it was easier for people to hire me because they were like, oh yeah, I saw you do that Insta story, or I saw you write that blog about this. Can you share that on stage? So commit to your personal brand, and I think the speaking can grow quite naturally out of it, as it did for me. Next question came in on my computer through someone who's actually working on a TV series.
What's going on, Iamdanram? It's Brandon C. Adams. I am from Garnerville, Iowa, but currently traveling the country to film for my TV show called Success in Your City. I have this question for you on personal branding. What are you doing at events to build your personal brand?
Ooh, good question. So this guy also does a lot of public speaking. He is awesome, and he wants to know how that can help with personal branding. It's almost the inverse of the answer I gave to the guy in Jordan. So there's a couple of things I look at. Some are small and some are big. Some of the smaller stuff is, you'll notice I wear a lot of red. I do red shoes. I wear red clothes. So visually I look different. The outfits I pick and all of that. Audio-wise, things are different too. Like, I'll often sing on stage. But I'd say those are minor issues. The main thing is monologue versus dialogue. A lot of speakers make the mistake of showing up on stage thinking they're there to promote or sell something. That is a monologue. I go there with the concept that this is dialogue. And so I start a conversation on stage and I tell people, grab me for a tea or coffee, grab me on my way downstairs, meet me at the airport, wherever it might be, write to me, use a business card that I gave you and actually engage. So I use the platform as an opportunity to start a conversation. And that to me really feeds back into personal branding, because I'm directing them back into social media, directing them into stuff that I'm working on and involving them in it. And that just builds up the brand, that gets me more speaking engagements, and you see how that's a full loop happening there. Last question that we'll take today comes in from Florence.
Hey Dan, how are you doing? Okay, so as you know yourself, brands are based on what is true, genuine, and real. And I guess I've been lucky in a sense that I've worked with you a few times, so I know that the following question I'm going to ask are going to be great brand standout.
She asked me 6 questions, so here's one.
How do you find your niche? You know, every now and then you think about what you do, and you always wonder, if I had a niche that was tight, would it make it easier for people to find me or people to stay?
So the question is, how do you find your niche? This is a answer coming from someone that did not know their niche. And so I would break it down into 3 kind of major steps. Number 1, throw things at the wall and see what sticks. I started off wanting to be a classical pianist, then I wanted to be a professional tennis player, then I worked for KPMG, then I worked for the UN, then I started setting up businesses, now I do professional speaking. It's essentially me throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. Second, when you found something that sticks, like public speaking, for me, I just start watching. I literally obsess about people in the industry. I watch TED Talks, I watch other events, I see what's happening, and I try to see what's the norm and where's the opportunity. And in that lies your differentiation. And number 3 then is build on it. So for me, there is a certain energy that I bring, there's a certain kind of look that I bring, there's a certain kind of style to the way I deliver the message that differentiates me from others. And that's what I've been building on. Recently, the social media element, bringing the camera along to show what's happening behind the scenes and the event and all of that, is another differentiator yet again. So I would 100% agree that you need to find your niche, and that's how I find my niche. 5 questions. Hopefully that was fast enough to give an insight, but not long enough to bore you. Thank you for joining me on this first ever Q&A. Maybe we'll do this on a monthly basis. So be following on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, all this stuff. And I will put out the next theme. Send questions, be part of the conversation. Let's learn from each other. Comment below if you agree or disagree with any of that stuff. And as always, thank you so much. See you next time.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have got a summer merch design challenge. What that means is I've got a black t-shirt. What I need from you is your best design. Your favorite Iamdanram phrase, logo, motivation, whatever you want. You design it, and the winning design gets free merch. Help us out. Let's build a community. Share the love. There's 2 links below. One has content that you can put on here, and second is where you submit it. I cannot wait to see what you got. Thanks for getting involved.